All right, guys, so welcome to our self-paced Coach Basics training. Tonight is week 2, and we are going to be going over how to track your business and go into some detail about Instagram stories. So this is going to be super important and super helpful for you guys, is really understanding exactly how to track your business and the importance of it, because these things on the tracker are what's going to actually build your business over time. So I'm going to share with you guys a sample of one that we use. And at the end of the day, guys, it really doesn't matter what tracker you're using, as long as you're doing those specific actions and those daily activities that are on there. That is what makes the difference. That's what's going to build your business. And so this right here that I'm going to share with you guys is like legit gold. If you do these things on this tracker and you do them every single day, you're going to build a business. So let me go over here, and maybe you guys have seen this before. If you haven't, it is in our team page. It's in the files section. And hold on, guys. I'm sorry. I have something like in my eye right now. Oh my God. And it's in the files section of Team Forever Strong. But it's called Basics Are a Badass Challenge Tracker. So let me screen share with you guys, and I will share it with you. And I'm going to just kind of briefly go over the different things that are on it. Now, if you don't want to use that one, you don't have to. If you want to use the just regular business activity tracker that we also have in the file section, you can use that too. You can use this sheet of paper and just print it out and leave it right on your desk. And you could keep it there every single day when you sit down to work. Or you can use a notebook and track it that way. But it's these activities that need to be done that will determine whether or not you either build a business or you don't. So let me screen share with you guys for a second. Okay. So here it is right here. Now this one is I've seen a bunch of different trackers. This one is definitely the most simple and most basic. And like I said, you can get it in the file section in our team page. And just simply you jot down the goals for your week, because everything needs to be broken down as small as possible. So even though we all come in and we have like larger goals that we want to reach, you need to break them down by weekly and then monthly goals. And then it's when you hit those weekly and monthly goals, when you keep doing that, that is what is going to move you closer and closer and closer to actually reaching that big, huge goal that you set for yourself with this business, okay? So this is super simple. It's Monday through Sunday thing. You just print it out. You give yourself a little check mark. That is it. People always ask me all the time, like, I don't understand. Like, how did you build a 6-figure business in 11 months? I just don't understand it. And I literally point them to the tracker. And I say, this is all I did, except I did it like quadruple of what we tell you to do. So if you look on this thing right here, and it says like 5 new friend requests, I was sending like 15 a day. When it says like start 5 new conversations with somebody, or send 5 invites, I was sending like 50 invites. Okay, so everything was just like basically quadrupled, every single activity on here. That's how it happened. But without this, you're kind of just like walking through the forest. You don't know how the hell to get out, and you're just completely lost. So this tells you exactly what needs to be done. And then all you need to do is be self-disciplined enough to sit down and then do those things every single day. So you just simply go through each thing and make the commitment to yourself to not go to bed at night until you get these things done. They don't take a lot of time. So it shouldn't be something that's going to take you hours unless you want to dedicate hours a day to this business. But this can all be done in an hour a day or less, okay? So you're going to go through here. And if you have any questions, comment in the chat and I will answer you there. Or you can unmute yourself and I'll answer you too. So it's just, you got your workout in, you drank your shake. Did you follow the meal plan as best as possible? Obviously, guys, we're not perfect. It's not going to happen, right? But you did your best. You did your personal development for the day, which for new coaches, I am recommending now, and I mentioned it on the last call, to definitely make sure to do Get Over Your Damn Self. That is the book that you should be reading as a brand new coach. So get that one if you haven't already. You can listen to it on Audible. You can just get the book, whatever you want to do. Send 5 new friend requests a day on Facebook. You've connected with 5 new people on Instagram. And build relationships with them. This is just like, hey, how's life going? All that kind of stuff. Scrolling down, commenting, liking, and engaging on 5 new and 5 old people's posts. So this is really important because you want to make sure that you're giving back to other people. Commenting other people's posts, you're interacting with them, you're asking them questions below their posts. This can't be this can't be, hey Melissa, what's up?
Hey.
What's going on?
Is this just you?
This is just me. Well, this is the self-paced coach basics training call, the second month one.
Gotcha.
The second week. So if you already know all this stuff, you don't have to stay on.
It's like a refresher though.
Yeah. I was just going over the really quickly the Basics Are Badass challenge tracker. We're just talking about just like the importance of tracking your business, and then really just going over like touching on lightly on Instagram stories.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. So anyways, it's super important that you have like something like this printed out in front of you that you're actually going through and doing each of these things every single day, because if you're not doing them, then nothing's going to happen with your business. So let me just see here. I'm just trying to, oh, there's more. Is there more people in here?
I thought I saw Pan.
Oh, nice. All right, cool. I'm going to mute you, but if you need to say something, unmute or just comment in the chat.
Got it.
Cool. All right, cool. So here are the different things, and I'm just quickly going over each of the things, but have it printed out on your desk, like I mentioned earlier, and just don't go to bed at night until you get this thing done. If you're serious about the business, which you should be, then you will definitely make this commitment to do these things. And like I mentioned like a minute ago, if you hopped on late, these do not take a lot of time. So this is meant to take like no more than an hour every single day. You can do it definitely in less, especially the faster, the more you do this and the longer you've been in this business for. I mean, you can really bang this out like quickly, but it also depends on what your goals are too. Everything I want you guys to just keep in mind, because I don't candy coat anything. I don't want to mislead anybody, but the things that are on this actual tracker here are like the bare minimums, like the bare bones minimums of what you need to do to at least start to establish a business. All right. So keep in mind, if you're someone who has, joined the team because you want to earn 6 figures, or you want to be able to leave your full-time job, or you want to be able to pay off all your credit card debt, or whatever it is, you're going to want to up it for all these numbers on this thing. And I know like when I came into this business, that's what I did too. Like I wasn't just sending 5 messages to people every day to invite them to our challenge group. I mean, everything that you see on here was like quadrupled. I was sending like 15 new friend requests a day, sending out like 50 invites a day, following up with all those 50 people the next day, and just spending basically all of my time in your inbox. So this is a really good indicator, like when you go to sit down to do your work, is where do you go first? Are you looking at your notifications tab on Facebook, or are you going right to your messages? And if you're spending it looking at the notifications tab, then you're not building your business. All of your time should be spent in that actual inbox, or in your email, or in your direct messages on Instagram, because that's really what builds the business. It's building those relationships with people. And so on months, like for example, August, and this month tends to be one of the slower months. There's always seasons in this business, just like any business. Some months are really easy, and like, boom, you can sign up like 5 people and you can hit Success Club 10 and get your name on the leaderboard within 2 weeks of the month, and it's no problem, right? That, for example, would happen to you in like January or February, when people are ready to make, commitments to become healthier and they want to make changes because it's the new year. But if it's like this month or November or December, where people are now getting all ready to go back to school, they're spending all their money on school supplies, they're spending all their time on just focusing on the kids, get them to school, starting school, they're not thinking about themselves right now. They're not wanting to spend any extra money. Same thing with November and December. People are just like gorging themselves with the holidays right around the corner. They're not thinking about themselves. And it doesn't mean that you can't still hit your goals. It doesn't mean that you can't still hit Success Club every single month. You absolutely can. It just means that on those months where it tends to be a little bit slower, you're going to need to talk to more people. So on your typical month, whatever you would typically talk to hit Success Club on those months, you're just going to want to like double that for the months that seem a little bit slower. And what that means is that you're having way more conversations with people behind the scenes. You're engaging in a lot more people's posts on Instagram, on Facebook. You're really having like detailed, thought out, personalized messages with questions below things that people are sharing on Instagram and on Facebook. That's really important. And then taking it behind the scenes in private messages. That's really where it's at, really getting to know them. So you're spending a ton of time doing that during, for example, August. And then come around September, it's going to be much easier. And you'll have probably a lot more people who will be willing to sign up with you because you've taken the time now to spend the extra time building way more relationships than normal. So just keep that in mind as you go through this tracker here. So where was I? I was right over here. Conversations with 5 people who have followed your stories or posts. So every single night or every single day, I look at my Instagram stories or I look at my stories on Facebook, and you can see who has viewed them. And I have an ongoing running list of all of those people. And those are the people who I start my conversations with. I'll talk to them just about life. I'll ask them about what they did over the weekend, how their week is going. And if I see that they have viewed a post that I've made or an Instagram story or Facebook story that I made either about the business or about the health and fitness aspect, that is when I'll come right out and I'll do my invites, which the files in Team Forever Strong has my invite document. That's another thing that you should have printed out, like right in front of you when you go to sit down to work this business every single day. That is like your Bible to this business. That works. Don't try to change it. Don't try to tweak it. Obviously, you're going to want to put in your own information when it comes to personalizing the invite, but use the exact same format. Obviously, if you're not a mom with 2 kids, and you were going to have to leave them and go back to work, that's my story. That's not your story. That's the piece where you're going to plug in your personalized story so that the person can relate to you. But the rest of the format of the invite and the follow-up and all of that can be followed exactly. So make sure you have that, because I go over exactly everything of what I say to how to overcome objections and everything. And trust me, that is my strength. I've mastered it over the past 4 years. And if you use it and you do it daily, trust me, you won't be scrambling at the end of the month to hit Success Club and to meet your monthly goal. Your name will be on the leaderboard every single month, no ifs, ands, or buts. And then you're going to feel great about yourself, because Success Club is the foundation of a business. Without it, you don't have a business. That's just the way it is. So do these things and you will be golden. You're inviting 3 to 5 people to a challenge group. So again, you just put a little check mark, right? And I always tend to do, when I sit down to do my work, guys, I always tend to do the inviting stuff first, because that is the most important thing. When you strip away the entire business, and people always say like, well, if you could pinpoint the one thing that helped you build your business, what would you say that it was out of all these things? And it is the inviting. It is massive amounts of inviting if you want to grow big and if you want to grow fast. If you want to just cover your shake, then following this will do that, right? You want to earn a couple $100 a month, following this will do that. Anything, if you want to earn more than that, then you're going to want to do more. Okay, so just always do a little bit more, and then you'll always be a little bit more ahead of everybody else, right? Because everybody else is doing average. So if you want to stand out and you want to see some significant change in your life, I'm telling you, this works. Just trust the process and stick with it. Let me see here. I see a chat here. Do you recommend keeping your checklist for each week? Yeah, so definitely. So that was actually a really good question though, Melissa, because it's really interesting. Because if you get away from tracking your business, so like you should have one of these printed out, like what I do is I have like 4 of them printed out ahead of time, and I have them all like stapled together, and I write the weeks at the top of every single one, right? And so I'll have like one whole month stapled together and literally tracking every single little thing. That way, when the next month comes, if things are going a little bit slower, or at the end of like this month, for example, if I'm not really where I wanted to be, you use it. It's to help you. Like, it's not for me. It's not for me to do like homework on you guys and be like, hey, I want to make sure everybody's doing their thing. Like, I'm not going to do that. This is your business. But it will help you see where you may have lost some consistency, or it'll help you with, for example, like months like this month, where it's a little bit harder. Not that much harder, but you're going to get a lot more no's than typical because it's back to school month. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's totally okay. You just need to talk to more people, but it will help you, because then you can look back on, say, for example, July. If you hit Success Club in July and you actually have like if you track how many invites you did, like, cause I also track how many invites I did every single day. So like I change all my numbers on here. Like if it says like invite 3 to 5 people, like I'll have like invite 30 or whatever it is. So I have it tracked. So if, for example, you look back and you say like, hey, well, all right, I invited 100 people in July and I was able to hit Success Club 10 off of that. And now you know August is going to be harder. You know that your numbers are going to have to be more than that. So then you can kind of just add on those extra numbers every single day. So that way you know it's going to happen. So it's really just for your own reference. But it's really good if you keep them, because then, yeah, like if you're struggling or if you had like an awesome month, you can look back and be like, what was I doing that month where like my paycheck was so high? And you can look back and you'll see, and chances are you were sending out a lot more invites that month and you were a lot more consistent with these behaviors in general. So it's really, really good for you, because this business is all about self-reflection and constructive, criticism and constructive feedback and things like that. So it'll be good for you and not just you, I'm just saying like in general, everybody in this business. You can look at it and see like, geez, like I've been really struggling like with my mindset. I've been kind of stuck in this like self-doubt phase. And then you look and you're like, damn, I only like listened to personal development like 2 times over the past 3 weeks. Ooh, like that's not good, right? So you know that will be an area that you need to improve for the next month going forward. So does that make sense? Yeah. So, all right. So that's good. Any other questions? Keep them coming. All right, so then we have inviting 3 to 5 people to the sneak peek in the free group. So this is another thing too. Courtney and I, she's another leader on the team. We are running, this is new as of the past like month or 5 weeks, where we run the weekly sneak peeks for people to learn about how to build a business. Specifically, we're trying to find people who want to build 6-figure income businesses over time, just like we do. So that is every single Monday, and it's free, and it's on Facebook, and there's posts that go up recurring every single week in the team page. It's the same exact group. We go live Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then we clear the group out of all the posts on Friday, and then we add all the new people in, and we start again on the following Monday. But it's every single week. And the reason why we did that was because we wanted to make sure that we kept the pressure on ourselves to continue talking about the business with people and inviting to the business, because at the end of the day, if you're not building your team and you're not bringing on active coaches, your income that you can make in this business is totally capped. All right, it can be a good side income, but in terms of full-time, earning 6 figures over time, it's not going to happen with just challenge packs and hitting SC10. It has to be that you're bringing on a good 1 to 3 or more active coaches, really depending on how big your goals are. So make sure that every single week, that you're keeping an eye on this, because I feel like this is the piece right here where people are missing big time, right? And I've seen people, they stay in this business and they've been doing this on the team for like 2-3 years, and they're saying that they don't have the income that they were hoping for at this point. And I don't see them adding anybody into the coach sneak peeks, and I haven't seen them add people to the coach sneak peeks for like forever. And that is the missing link. That is really the missing link. And it's super simple. And again, I have all my sample messages in that document that's in Team Forever Strong that you can have printed out. But this is an automatic red flag invite to the sneak peek when you're inviting people to a challenge group and they tell you like, oh no, I just can't do it, I don't have the money. That's when you want to let them know about this business and invite them to learn more on Monday, because it's no strings attached and people can just be a fly on the wall. And it's a numbers game. So if you can shoot to get in like 5 people every single week, that's 20 people. Chances are you're going to find with 20 people 2 active coaches. For the numbers for me, if I usually get like 10 people into a sneak peek, I can sign up 1 person will be an active coach. So just look at it that way, right? So just if you want to write that down there, you know that you have your sneak peek on Mondays to make sure that you get 5 people in every single week. And if you need help, just let me know. Conversations, post on the team page, tag me. I'll answer it there for you. But that is the key to this business, is building your team slowly over time. Posting 2 quality posts on Facebook or Instagram. I'm kind of like, it's okay if you don't have 2. 2 is good, but definitely 1. You want to have like 1 adding value posts, one post every single day. Traction tends to be going way more now towards Instagram stories and Facebook stories. So if you don't have that and you don't know about it, make sure you go on YouTube, Google it. It's super simple and it's tons of fun. And we'll touch on that in just a few minutes. Post at least 9 stories on Instagram and upload to Facebook stories. Daily workout with food, life coach. Okay, so you have all these things. These are different things that you can post in your stories. I'll go over that in a second. So anytime that you make a post, whenever somebody comments on your post, respond to the comment. And what that means is don't just give it like a heart. Don't give it like a smiley face. Actually do a comment back. Ask them a question back. Compliment them back, because the more comments that you get on your post, the more it's shown in your news feed to people, the more people will see it, and that's what you want. So don't ever just let people just comment where you don't say anything. You want to get back to them on Instagram and on Facebook below your post. Okay. Alrighty. Recognize a coach or challenger in a group or publicly. So again, if you've signed up people and they're in your challenge group and they've just got their package, like cheer them on, give them a shout out on the team page, give them a shout out in the challenge group, give them a shout out publicly on your wall. Like, I'm so excited. She's committing to herself now. She's been on the back burner for so long. She's had enough. She's going to see awesome changes. I'm pumped for her, that type of thing. Like, good for her for putting herself first and making herself a priority. It's so easy to let yourself go on the back burner, that kind of thing, right? Just celebrate and recognize people for anything that you can think of, like super small things. And it goes a long, long way, because everybody likes to feel like, yeah, I'm doing the right thing, or yeah, I'm doing a good job, right? So recognition is really important. Check in on your challenge group. So again, you should just be, I'm talking once. People get really wrapped up in the challenge groups, and sometimes people tend to spend all their time in the challenge groups, just simply just going in and just seeing what everybody's doing. And they spend like multiple times a day going into this group. And that is taking you away from what you need to do to build the business. Because at the end of the day, checking into your challenge group, like, that is not going to build your business. It's part of making you a great coach. It's something that you should do because you should be leading by example. We're a health and fitness business. But if it comes down to that, or actually talking to people, it's talking to people that's going to do it. Okay. And people tend to do the easy things first. Like, oh, like, I wasn't able to do my inviting, but at least I got my workouts in. It's like, that's awesome. But like, you're not getting paid to do your workout. Like, Beachbody's not going to give you a paycheck because you press play. They're going to give you a paycheck because you've helped other people get started on their health and fitness journey, and you're helping them get results. So pressing play, that's the easy part, right? So check in on the challenge group. You should be checking in on your coach online office every single day. Just log into your account, check it out, see who you've signed up, see if anybody's inactive, active, checking out what's going on, like the updated latest news, things like that. You should be checking in on that every single day. And then this is an important one, because I seriously feel like people just like forget about it sometimes, but you have to check the team page once a day. And this is really quick. And trust me, I know that we're in a lot of groups, and I'm in a lot of groups now too myself, especially the longer you stay in this, the more you work your way up the ladder and things like that, the more groups you get added to. And all you do is you just simply, when it comes time to do those check-ins, you just quickly go into those groups and you go in and you go out. So you go into your challenge group, you make your post, you check and see if any of your other coaches or challengers have posted, you comment, you like, you do that, you leave that group. Then you go into the team page, you go into Team Forever Strong, scroll through, see if there was any live video that I did or anything that I shared with you guys. Everything that's put into that page is to help all of you guys get to where you want to be and to grow successful businesses. So it's all meant to help you. So it's important that you're in there and that you're watching those things, or even reading the posts that might go in there, and that you're on the weekly team calls every Thursday night at 8:30 p.m. And again, you just quickly go into the group. It should not take more than 5 minutes, unless there's like a live video in there, something like that. And then you leave. And then you don't go back into those groups, guys, until tomorrow when you sit down to do your work again, because it's really easy to let those other things suck you in, and your time is really valuable. And it makes a huge difference with how focused you are during your time, especially because I know tons of people on this team are busy and they have full-time jobs and they have kids, and your time for this business is limited. Maybe you only have an hour a day. So you don't have the luxury to be able to continually check into these groups all the time, even if you want to, even if you might be tempted. Okay. Alrighty, implement 1 to 2 new things that you know will help you and your business. So what that means is, right, as you're on like a team call, or even if you're on like this call tonight, or when you're listening to your personal development, never just gather the information and then not do anything about it. Don't be a collector of information. Pick one thing that you learned, that one nugget, that one piece of information that you think could help you, and apply it to your business and go take action immediately. So same thing when we get off with this call, like pick one thing that you know you need to do. It's probably inviting and go send the invites out before you go do whatever else you've got planned to do, right? And just take action on that. Maybe you don't have this tracker printed out. Maybe you didn't even know that it existed, right? Print it out. Maybe you didn't know that the invite document that I put together for you guys with how to talk to people and have conversations and how to overcome objections was given to you and is in the file section in Team Forever Strong. And print that out, So whatever it is, make that list and then just take the action. Don't wait until tomorrow. Do something, even if it's just something tiny, okay? And then this is just at the end of the week. You just track how many Success Club points you have by the end of week 1, which you should all be having at least 2 Success Club points by the end of every single week, okay? That should be your goal. Yeah, print that out and just keep it at your desk. It will really help you. Because at the end of the day, then you can look at that and be like, oh, I'm so tired. I'm just going to go to bed. But then you have this empty checklist. And it's like, how serious are you if you're not going to do the things, right? Like you have to do the things. Same thing with new coaches. Did you bring on any new coaches to your team? And again, you should be aiming to have, if you're brand new coaches, brand new, 1 the first month is okay. If you've been doing this anything longer than like 3 months, then you should be aiming for at least 2 to 3 active coaches, okay, a month. So don't overwhelm yourself. All you have to do is invite people to be a part of that coach sneak peek. Maybe you haven't even done that yet, and we've been running them for the past 5 weeks. Take action on that. Don't overthink it. Invite everybody. They're not going to bite your head off. They're not going to be aggravated with you. People are really nice. Use my message, and people are either going to say, yeah, that sounds great. Like, I'd love to learn more. Add me in. Or they're going to say, no, that's all right, but thanks for thinking of me. And that's it. Okay, that's no big deal. New customers, if you had any, put them down here too. Did you get on the weekly team call? I mean, all these things matter. And did you listen to the National Wake Up Call? And those are on Monday mornings. And I know I can never make them on live. And most people can't, but you can always catch the replay. Okay? So print those things out. And then I like down here too, it says, time to reflect. What did you do well? What can you improve on? And then write it down. So this is where that self-reflection, even if it stings, right? Even if it takes you looking in the mirror being like, you know what? Like, you seriously only invited 5 times over the entire month. It's no wonder why you didn't sign anybody up, right? Sometimes it takes that. You got to like really look and then look at this, because when you track it, the tracking doesn't lie, right? It's your actions. You either did it or you don't. Okay, so let me stop the screen share here. Does anybody have any questions about the tracker? Anything about the tracker? Without the tracker, you're totally lost. Like, it is literally like going to like build a house from scratch and not knowing how to use a hammer or not knowing what the heck to do. Like, you would just have no clue. So that's what this is for. And then just really quickly, I just wanted to share just a little bit about the Instagram stories. So for Instagram stories, this is where it's at. This is really where I've been like really seeing a lot of people come around. You can look on YouTube. You can Google like Instagram stories. If you don't have Instagram account, like, you definitely, first step needs to be to just create an account. And Instagram stories is super easy. It's simple. It doesn't need to be, you don't need to overthink it. What you put up there goes away within 24 hours. So it's like no big deal. You don't have to worry about being perfect. And as a matter of fact, that's why more people are going towards that, because it's relatable. People love seeing people in the day-to-day life and what they're doing with their kids, having a total shit show on the floor in Target. They're having meltdowns. The dog just shit all through the house. People like to see these things. They like to see real life because it's like watching TV. It's like entertainment for them. So it's a really good thing for you guys to use, because then you can share little snippets of your entire life on there, of your day on there, and people can get a really good glimpse into like who you are, what you have going on in your life. It shouldn't be all just working out and my food and working out again and a quote. I mean, there's going to be a good mix in there. Like, people really want to see who you are and get to know you as a person, because it develops trust. And a way to get more like eyes on you with Instagram, which is just like posting on Facebook and just like posting on Instagram, is your consistency in it. The same thing with Facebook and Instagram. When you make a post, the more consistent that you are with that, as time goes on, with you sharing, as long as you do it every single day, the more people will come and will want to see what you're sharing, and they'll want to follow you. Same thing with stories. Okay, the more you do it, the more followers and the more people are going to actually see it. And there's a little button on there where you can actually click it to see like who is seeing them and who's watching them. If you hashtag, you should be hashtagging and tagging the location to every single little clip that you put on. So I always recommend that you guys do about 9 clips in your story. So like, they have them in little sections. And do a combination of like different things. So do a combination of the video, where you can actually video what's going on. Maybe you want to flip the camera around, and if you hold the button down, it'll give you a 3-second timer where you can get yourself in place and you can show a couple workout moves. So I usually try to do that every day. You can do that. You can do the boomerang feature. You can do just a regular picture. You can go even do like a live on there. There's all different things that you can do, but you definitely want to be mixing it up so that people are getting a variety in there. And if you're funny, be funny. If you're someone who, let your personality shine through, because then you're going to be able to attract your people. And who cares what people think, because it goes away in 24 hours, so it doesn't even matter. But you want to tag a location and hashtag it. And I always minimize it. And you can take like your fingers and like zoop and shrink it down and make it super tiny so that it doesn't distract away from my picture. Sometimes, because of the picture, it looks good if you actually have the hashtag going across the whole thing. But you definitely don't want to have that for every single clip of your story that you do, because it just takes away from the content that's on there. People get distracted with what your hashtag and location said versus, what you're doing and what you want them to be seeing in the picture. So just shrink it down and like move it down to like the little corner. And you do not need to tag your specific location of where you are. So even though, like, for example, right now, like, I'm out living by Anna Maria Island in Florida, I don't tag the same place every single time. Sometimes I'll tag Sarasota, I'll tag Anna Maria Island, I'll tag Tampa, I'll tag Bradenton, I'll tag Orlando, I'll tag Boston, Massachusetts, because I used to live there before. I mean, I tag places all over the place, because then when people go on Instagram and they're searching those locations, that's how they find you, and that's how you get more followers. So when you are actually doing that, you can use the poll feature in there. There's a poll feature where you can ask people if they want more help with their health and fitness. 10 spots left. Would you like to reserve one? Yes, no. You can see who's voted on it. But those people who are actually viewing your stories, that's really, really, really good idea, is to go back to their wall of what they're posting. And then that's where you take the time to engage and comment and make little comments below the things that they're posting, because then it shows, hey, like, this person is really taking the time to get to know me, to interact with me. And honestly, like, that's what this whole business is. It's all about building relationships. And the more relationships that you can build, the more people you can help, and you have to, it's kind of hard to like put this into words, but it's like, you really have to go into this when you're talking to people and not even ever, like, truthfully, not even ever care if they ever sign up with you or not. And it's kind of hard to explain, but for example, and I don't even know how to really put it into words, but even at the beginning of this business, when I was so desperate to make this work, when I was in so much debt and I was going to have to leave the kids and all that stuff, and I was back against the wall, whenever I was having a conversation with somebody, it was almost like I totally just like blacked it all out, that they would ever even be buying anything. Do you know what I mean? Like, I didn't even like think of it. It was just about, I'm here to help this person right now, whether they sign up with me or not. I really don't care. And there are people out here who need me, and I'm here to find those people. That's kind of like what I have in my head every single time when I go to talk to people. I never think about like, oh my God, like I hope this person says yes, like I have to hit Success Club, because I know that if I'm doing these actions that we just went over every single day, it's gonna happen anyways. So and I know that I'm in control of showing up every day and doing those things, and I know I'm gonna do them. So I know I'm going to always meet that monthly goal. Like I never worry about it, even if it comes down sometimes to the nitty gritty. The last like 5 days of the month where I'm locking in like a couple more people, I still always know. I go into every month knowing like I know I'm going to help at least 5 people this month and hit Success Club 10. I don't even think about it. Now I'm here to help these people. And I don't have any expectations from people when I talk to them. I don't care whether it's the business or not. I don't beg people. I don't try to convince people. I don't try to persuade people. I just present them with what I know works, whether it's health, fitness, and financial, because I know we have what works in all those areas. And it's up to them if they decide that they want to actually join me or not. I don't care if they do or not. But I wouldn't be doing my job as a coach if I didn't share this with other people. It'd be like, what's the point of being a coach? Like, you're not even coaching. You're not even like reaching out to people, right? So you have to do that. You kind of have to like put that block on where you're not even thinking about it, and you're not thinking about points, and you're not thinking about commissions, and you're not thinking about paychecks, and just really trusting the process and making that commitment of doing these things and knowing that, all right, I'm going to trust the process. I have my tracker out. Like I'm going to do these things every single day for an entire freaking year, and it's going to pay off. And then you just break it down and you take it week by week by week by week. That's it. That's all it is. Or if you need to, day by day. And some days, guys, it's going to be a hell of a day, and you're not going to want to really do anything for the business, right? That's why it's so important that you really need to know like why you're here and what your purpose is of being here. Because if you don't have that, like if you can't answer it, like if I asked you right now, like why are you here? Why are you in this business? Like if you couldn't answer it like confidently within like 30 seconds, then you really don't know why you're here. And then those times, those are the people that struggle, because there are going to be hard times, and it is going to be hard to show up on some days, okay? Because it's a business and life happens. We all know it. But if you have something you feel really emotionally connected to, it makes it so much easier to show up on those times when you don't. But if you don't have something, then it's really easy to just put this on the back burner, just like we do our health and fitness, just like we do other areas in our life that we know there's something we need to do, but we don't do it, right? We don't really see the importance of it. So treat this like a legit business, and like any other business that you would get into. Put in the time, put in the hours, be patient, trust the process. Trust me, guys, I'm giving you everything, spoon feeding it to you, exactly what I know works. Print out the things and just spread it down to your team. And even if you only have one active coach, and let them know about it, and just have it out in front of you and work towards it every day. And on those days where you don't feel like doing it, there's going to be days. Just, you might not do as many invites. You might not do the exact numbers that are on your tracker, whatever that tracker looks like to you with the numbers. The one that I just went over with you, that's just the basics, right? So hopefully you'll adjust the numbers based on what your personal goals are for life in general, right? Just like I changed the numbers. And there's going to be days, and there's some days, like for me, like yesterday when I was gone all day long and then I had the concert at night, right? I usually do like 30 or something like that conversations a day. I just only was able to do 5, but I did 5. I didn't do none. I still did some. So that's what I'm saying. So whatever your number is, maybe it is just going to be 5 to start a day. And then maybe you just don't have any time one day. Then you're going to still get out like 2. All right. It's not going to be your number. That's okay. But at least you're still doing it, because that is what this business is all about. It's about just building momentum with this consistency over time. It's not about, yeah, sure, obviously, massive numbers is going to lead to massive action. And if you can do it and you want to be a runner and you got the drive for that, then go for it, right? But if you're someone who just is, crazy busy and you just want to take this a little bit slower, then make the numbers fit to your life with what your goals are and commit to them every single day. And then you're going to get there. And I'm telling you, and I say this all the time to people, but if you have these trackers out and you like religiously do them every single day, in an entire year from now, guys, you are going to have a business. You are going to have it now. You have to do every single one of those things on the list. You can't skip like adding new coaches to the team, because that's like the most important one that you can do. As a matter of fact, I only invite to the business. That is it. So that's why I only invite to the business, because my fallback is if they're not interested in the business once they've learned about it, then that's okay. But maybe they have health and fitness goals that they want to work on. Maybe they want to be a part of my support and accountability group. So I reverse engineer it that way, because I like helping people build businesses. That's my jam. That's my favorite part about this whole thing. It's honestly not the challenge groups and all that. I want to see people really dream big, and I want to help them get there. So I'll invite them to coach sneak peeks, and I try to get in like 20 people every single week. And then what I do is when I follow up with all those people, the ones who say it's not for them, that's when I say, hey, well, that's totally okay. Maybe you'd like to be a part of my support and accountability group. It's tons of fun. Do you have any health and fitness goals that you're working toward? Would you like to hear more about that? That might be a better fit for you, since you're not interested in building a business. And that works out much better versus if you are just only inviting to a challenge group. Now, if you have someone who says, no, I'm just not interested, like I tried Shakeology before, it just didn't work for me, I didn't like it. Well, you're not going to go now ask them if they want to build a business that's revolved around Shakeology and the workout programs if they didn't like it, because that's just not going to work. So go for the business and then work your way backwards. And maybe that's scary to you, but it doesn't need to be, because all the work is done for you in those sneak peeks. All you have to do is invite people to it. That's it. And then keep track of the people who you added in. So it's super easy. You don't have to do any of the work for that yourself. You don't have to do the live videos. You don't have to present the information. You don't have to learn about how to discuss how to earn an income or any of that kind of stuff. Me and Courtney do all that for you. The content's there from people who have already had success, and you are just plugging your people in so that they can learn more about it. So anyways, I hope that helped you guys out. Does anybody have any questions before I let you guys go for the night? Nope. Okay. Cool. And I'll give you a hint too, guys. Really quick too, I was just looking at like Pam's thing. It just made me think of something when she said she's been getting more eyes on her stories. I noticed that when I spend a lot more time, like, okay, I'm going to give you an example. Well, first of all, Nick did a live video, my husband, in the team page day. So just make sure you check that, because it's really helpful. But yesterday, or a couple days, I don't know when it was. When the hell was it? Let me see. My mind is like, today was one of those days, guys. It was just, man. It's, I want to check something for you guys. I want to share this with you. When was it? Okay, it was yesterday. All right, so I made a post about my son Landon starting first grade. He started first grade on Monday. So I made a post about that, and I have 30 hashtags that I use. I'm not going to go into hashtags, but they should be relevant to what you're posting. Anyways, I used 30. I don't use the same 30 every single post I make. It depends on if I'm sharing about family, or if I'm sharing about the business, or if I'm sharing about motivation, or if I'm sharing about food, or whatever. So anyways, my point is that I made a post about Landon starting first grade. So obviously one of my hashtags, multiple ones, were about first grade. And so what we do then is we go into Instagram and we search the hashtag that I used for first grade, right? Let me just share with you a couple of the hashtags. Jesus, such a cluster F. First grader, boy mom, things like that, right? So anyways, specifically we were searching first grader. And then what happens is all these different posts were coming up with people who also had their child start first grade for the first time too. And what I found was that the more people that I could connect with on there, so I would specifically spend like a solid 20 minutes going through all those different posts and like liking their post and then giving a really nice comment, not just like a crappy comment like, oh, so cute. Like that could be a computer doing that, because people do hire systems to do this work for them. And if you're a real person, like I'm trying to find real people here, they can tell the people who are computers, like, and the people who are actually real people. So I would do like a well thought out comment with a question below it and share about how, oh my God, my son just started first grade too, like this whole thing. And I found that my views on just my stories and views to my actual Instagram account went like tripled from the day before. So my point is that spend a lot of time connecting and building relationships with people, but don't spend so much time that you're actually not specifically inviting either. So you're going to have a good balance there. But anyways, hope that helped you guys. And if there's no questions, I will let you guys go, and I'll get this recording up on the team page for the other coaches who couldn't hear about it. And if there's anything that you think of after this call, you just tag me in Team Forever Strong, and I'll get back to you. All right. Bye, guys. You're welcome, Melissa. You're welcome, Pam.